That doesn't mean anything.
If you talk to any medical professional that practices this,
That's been done. That's been done. They have had doctors look at these images and verify that they are accurate.
Anthony Levatino, who used to be an abortion, who even testified before Congress recently, demonstrating and describing
Roe v. Wade was decided on privacy, not life.
by 7 white men.
Who couldn't get pregnant, by the way.
6 white men,
Who had no uterus.
1 black man.
So if they didn't have an opinion or a uterus, then you wouldn't have abortion on demand today, legal.
I actually disagree completely. I mean, if you
Okay.
look at Ohio, for instance, the heartbeat bill, it was stopped in the Senate. They wouldn't pass it. Explain that. There are women in the Ohio Senate that stopped that. I mean,
Well, I'm just saying that you wouldn't have legalized abortion in 1973 if it weren't for all those white guys those who are pro-abortion point out to white guys saying, well, if you're anti-abortion, you have no opinion because you don't have a uterus. Well, what about these white guys on the Supreme Court? What about former presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton? Okay, they weren't both white, but they're both guys. So I mean,
don't get me wrong. I disagree that white men have always had a say in what I do with my personal reproductive system. Absolutely, yes. But they still did something that is legal, and it was started with a privacy. I believe it was in Connecticut that they passed a Supreme Court in terms of being able to have access to abortions, like being referred to abortion clinics. And they are not mills. They are completely safe and sanitized medical institutions, just as much as you would go to
abortion mills. Abortion mills.
They aren't that.
That's actually contrary to what I've seen.
It's not a mill. I'm sorry.
Clinic, whatever you want to call it, they're not clean.
And then I have
A lot of them are
another
not
question.
clean.
What are you going to do if your child comes out with a mental disability? When they grow up, they come out as gay. What are you going to do about that?
Love them. His sister,
Are you sure about that?
his sister has that mental disability. She cannot. She's very dependent on other people, her parents, and his parents adopted them from Bulgaria, and they're loving her. If I was married, then if we had a child who was disabled, we care for him or her and love him or her.
What would you do if your child came out to you as transgender? Would you still love them?
Well, you're not born that way. We would teach them the truth of God, and they would fear God and grow up in a loving home that fears God.
But if they come out as transgender, that they're not comfortable in their body and they start transitioning, would you still love them endlessly?
They wouldn't come out that way because I wouldn't let them become that way.
That's not how that works. I'm so sorry to inform you, but
It is. I can protect them from this culture. I can protect them from Satan, who wants to shovel all this down our throats. I mean, the reason that children believe that is because they haven't been raised right. And I'm not saying there aren't, circumstances where a child can just go bad anyway, but we would tell them the truth. We would tell them the truth, and I mean, they would have to make up their own mind, but we tell them the truth, and that's part of loving them, is telling them the truth. Not because,
But that's not their truth. I mean,
well, then their truth is, then their supposed truth is false. They're believing a lie.
so
Because all of us, we're either a man or a woman, boy or girl. You can't change what you're born with.
technically
People try to, but
it's not that they try to. They successfully can. If they are a FTM, they can get a surgery and they will have an actual penis. That will be their sex. They will have a penis, and it will operate and work like a penis. And if you are an MTF, you will have your penis removed, and then it will be replaced with a vagina that will operate and work like a vagina. Explain that. These are medical phenomena that have been proven. Gender dysphoria is an actual thing. It is a medically diagnosed condition where you don't associate yourself with the gender that you are assigned at birth.
Your chromosomes define your gender.
Yeah. I disagree completely. Science also says that these are valid and they are a thing. If it wasn't a thing, then they wouldn't be diagnosed with gender dysphoria. They wouldn't have gone through a psychologist to get referred to top surgery or for bottom surgery. They wouldn't be prescribed hormones. They wouldn't be given testosterone. They wouldn't be given estrogen.
Majority of scientists believe that your chromosomes, especially with DNA, that is called book of life. And it basically spells out everything. Color of your hair, color of your eyes.
So you're telling me if you had a child born, they came out to you as transgender, you would love them just the same as you would have a cis heterosexual individual?
I would love them and I would tell them truth, and that's part of loving them.
But what if they went against what you told them? What if they say, Mom, Dad, I'm uncomfortable with how you're treating me. I want you to love me as I am. If not, I will walk out of your life. Will you still love them? Will you still support them? Will you help them through college?
You say the same if your child grew up raping women. You say the same if your child grew up with feet.
The issue is that you're comparing being transgender to raping women.
Well, it's kind of an
Transgenderism is a choice.
It's not a choice. I'm so sorry.
yeah, it is.
Being gay, being a lesbian. Okay, let me put this into perspective. Religion is a choice, gender identity and sexuality is not a choice. You are born with it, you can't change it. There's nothing you can do. Conversion therapy just scares you. And it reminds you that there is hate and that people don't want you to be who you are. That is what conversion therapy is.
Electrocuting someone until they believe something different.
Just
Simple counseling. Simple counseling is to say that everyone,
simple counseling
every
does not do anything. It makes them feel alone and isolated, and that their parents and the people around them don't love
I
them for
guess
who
you
they
could say
are.
that of every counseling because
What would you do if your child came out as? What if your child didn't believe in Christianity or Catholicism, and they came out as Buddhist or they came out as Muslim?
Same. I tell them the truth, and if they want to rebel, then that's their choice, and they have to live with
rebelling.
it.
It's who they are. There's
not-
nothing
How
you
do
can
we
do about
feel
it.
about that 11-year-old girl in Alabama who was raped, who was being forced to carry that child?
Is there any instances for the mother's life that you would consider abortion? If your wife was going to die with a baby, the baby will die too. Would you allow an abortion if she was going to die? You were going to lose the love of your life to a stillborn. Would you let that happen?
Well, how do you?
no harm. Why would you do harm to one person trying to
There's
save
no answers. There's only like questions going back, so they don't
should
have to
get equal
answer.
protection.
I mean, you're absolutely correct. I mean, I'm just walking in
Both of them.
circles at this point. And
So I have a question. Are you familiar with in vitro fertilization?
Yes.
So if a woman has an egg fertilized outside
I'll be
of her
back.
body
I
and
love
she
you
decides
all.
she doesn't want that egg implanted in her body, are you to force that egg inside of her?
Well, if conception or fertilization are taking place,
So you're gonna force her to have that egg put inside of her?
I ask the question: has conception or fertilization taken place?
Fertilized
Yes.
Okay.
Fertilized egg.
Then to take that life would be murder.
None of you are incubators. You're human.
Well, you're the one saying it, not me.
Say it to my face.
So what?
Literally say it to my face.
I said you're saying that you brought up the incubator. I didn't. Well, what? I mean, it's common sense that when a woman becomes pregnant, she's carrying a child. The fact that you're laughing just.
You don't have any logic here.
There's logic here, but I'm not sure it's being well received. Cause this country's brainwashed you so much. You don't think this is a human being. Science has proven these are human beings.
Promised us so much.
What?
Okay. Ooh, I was about to say.
I mean, you know that at the moment of fertilization of conception, these are human beings. But this culture has taught you, no, it's not a human being. It's okay to have an abortion. It's okay to be sexually irresponsible. And Planned Parenthood will take care of you.
What it was meant to do, protect.
It's like, don't believe these lies from Satan. The devil wants you to believe that, and he wants you to murder your child or murder multiple children.
The First Amendment guarantees your freedom of and
I mean, this may have been what you were raised with. I don't know. But I wasn't raised with this.
your uterus.
But when God saved me, I just knew that this was true. I knew that abortion was murder. No one ever taught me that. I wasn't raised a Christian,
Lots of people just standing and staring from a distance.
but I wasn't raised a Christian. I wasn't raised to believe in any of this.
No, I have a
But common sense told me it was true.
Is this a religious thing, or is it just protesting Roe v. Wade, or is it?
Well, it's not even a protest. It's not even the thing of Roe v. Wade because it's not law. I'm a Christian and I'm speaking up on behalf of these children. And I do it because I'm a Christian, but there are also atheists or agnostics that would do this too, that would hold the sign or would speak up for the preborn.
Roe v. Wade meant
What?
is that you have freedom of
You're
choice.
here for like religious reasons, or just
Well,
being against something that's completely honest in this.
just what?
I'm against abortion. And I am religious. I was just wondering if you're here for that or just in religion.
Well, we're here for the purposes of glorifying God, proclaiming the gospel to people, telling them how to be reconciled to God, how to be saved, and showing them that they live in a Holocaust. So it's not just one purpose. We have different purposes of being here.
I completely understand. I'm completely all for getting rid of abortion. It's disgusting.
It is. It's murder. You believe that?
It is.
Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
You may have already said it, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm a Christian. I've been my whole life. Yeah.
So do you support or oppose what we're doing?
Oh, I oppose abortion. I
Okay.
just don't know about standing in the middle of people and make people mad.
Everybody come get your sign.
Well, Jesus Christ made people mad. He made them so mad they murdered him on a cross.
That is true.
His disciples made people so mad that all but one of them were brutally murdered. Even the Apostle John, they threw him in a vat of burning oil. And the only reason he survived was because of the providence of God. So I mean, Christians have been making people mad for centuries, because you know how many Christians have been martyred, brutally tortured to death over the hundreds of years?
And now we're only supposed to get more so.
Yeah. And so I mean, do I do this to make people mad? No. Are people going to get mad? Yes, because they hate God and they rebel against God.
I think it's that they hate that you're telling them things that they know is true that they don't believe.
Yeah, I'm telling them the truth, and they don't, and it's hate to them because they hate the truth.
That's exactly what it is. It's ignorance. That's exactly what it is.
And I try to tell them that this country has brainwashed you into thinking this. And I've had people tell me the same thing, that you've been brainwashed. But I'm like, how so?
By what?
I mean, I was just telling them I didn't grow up in a Christian. No one told me that this was murder. I just, using my common sense in my brain, I realized, yeah, abortion is murder. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out.
No, my big question is, if you throw it at people who are for abortion that can never answer, is why is a person scientifically announced dead when they don't have a heartbeat, but a child, when it has a heartbeat, is not a person? Nobody ever has an answer for that. It's a heartbeat if you're a person and you die and you don't have a heartbeat. But if you're a child and you have a heartbeat, you're still not a person.
It's because they realize if they give an inch here, okay, this is a human being. They realize
They back themselves into the corner.
Well, but I'm just going to be honest. And I was speaking about this earlier. They want to have sex without responsibilities.
That's what I said.
And they can't have sex without responsibilities. I guess they could and still murder their babies, because people they do that today in America. They like, I know it's murder. I don't care.
It's people running away from a responsibility.
So are you just saying
It is.
don't have sex?
What?
Are you saying don't have sex?
No, I'm saying don't have sex outside of marriage, the context of marriage. Sex is good. It's a wonderful thing
So
in
you're
the
saying
context of marriage.
If you are married, then you shouldn't be having sex.
Exactly, because it's sin against God. Because you are to keep the marriage bed pure, and sex outside of marriage is unpure. It's sin in the eyes of God.
Freedom from religion.
Well, I'd say what you're saying right now is religious, because you're saying a viewpoint.
No, I'm speaking constitutional rights.
Well, you're talking about your beliefs, right? That's religious belief, isn't it? We all have religion of some kind. All of us are religious at some point.
We all have religion, like we all have choices.
And choices have consequences. Every choice has a consequence. The choice you're talking about is a consequence of murdering a child. But you refuse to accept that. If you want to join us, you're welcome to. And we have
I
an
can't. I
extra.
have class. I was
Okay.
kind of curious to stand around.
Did you maybe know someone who could benefit from that?
Okay.
And maybe here.
2019, and we're still trying
That explains why we're out here. If anyone asks you, or it can give you an opportunity to talk to someone that explain what we're doing out here.
Thank you.
What was your name?
My name's Alex.
Okay, Nicholas.
Nice to meet you.
You as well.
Literally at my school there was one that was
Let's see here.
but then like the rest were like, okay, so do we go? Alright. Where I'm from is the yeah. That was really good. A hot minute. I've heard Bloomington since like 15 minutes.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, we're here at the University of Northern Kentucky, outside the Student Union, and just telling people how to be reconciled to God and speaking up on behalf of our preborn neighbors.
Again, your rights in this country have nothing to do with religion.
So we have some pro aborts
Right?
that
Took civics in high school.
I didn't
Wanted to,
videotape you out of respect for your rights. Could you not do that to me?
I'm in a public area.
Our faces aren't protected by the First Amendment. They have that freedom. We
So-
respect choice, so we
Freedom of the
respect
press.
theirs.
First Amendment guarantees freedom of the press.
So
Exactly.
what you see on this sign here, this is what we do to children every day in this culture. This is the face of choice. We're here to remove the mask from the face of choice. If you're pro-choice, you support doing to this child, you support murdering that child.
People know that's wrong to just brutalize children like that, but children aren't being caged right now.
If you're pro-choice, then you are pro-murder.
I'm just gonna say, if
Did
you
you go 60
willingly
days
carry
without
those
a
signs, you have
toothbrush?
no right to ever complain about violence in movies or video games ever again.
Actually, I do. I preach against that a lot. If you're pro-choice, if you support a woman's right to choose, what you really support is a mother's right to take her child to Planned Parenthood and have her child's body ripped into pieces.
It's not my choice.
You're making the choice for someone else, for that little child in the womb.
Choose what they eat for dinner.
That could have been done to you or any one of you. It could have been done to me. This culture said that your mother had the right to take you to an abortion clinic and have you murdered. And that doesn't bother you. Why is that?